I think overall that the arc made for very entertaining First Doctor serial. I think the genre-heavy concepts are extremely enticing. The monoids are always just awesome and just goofy fun to look at. Seeing them move about and speak is just a ton of fun. I think also the plot was very well divided over 4 episodes. The first episode of the consequences of the Doctor and his companions' arrival to the Ark. The second episode, the outbreak of the disease. The third episode is the Doctor arrive and the companions arrive back. The monoids are in charge and they arrive on Refusius, and the Refusians make their offer. And the fourth episode is the conclusion. Perfect. There's something going on in each episode. There's no filler. It's solid quasi-sci-fi stuff. It's such a science fiction concept on paper, speculative. Ooh, what if, but then this, but what if, and then what if they decided that, and then they took over, and because they were bitter at being treated by the humans so poorly, and so they decided to treat the humans poorly, and then they have to learn to live together. It writes itself, but it's pretty good stuff, I will say. Visually exciting, narratively engaging. I think that the arc remains a rather solid entry within the First Doctor's particular epoch of the classic Doctor Who series. Now let's review, at last, the reception of this particular serial while we're on episode 4. Reviewing the serial in 2009, Patrick Mulkern of Radio Time stated, "The concept is fine, especially with the time-lapse cliffhanger to episode 2. Otherwise, the plot is lacking in dramatic incident, and there are often tracks of extreme tedium." I would disagree. I think episode 2 is the most consistently well-paced, with the Doctor trying to cure the disease. He thought that the Guardians did not have enough time to develop, and called the monoids somewhat ludicrous, so he did praise the direction, music, and effects. That's a lot of praise, then. DVD Talk's John Sinnott gave the serial 3.5 out of 4 stars, writing that the first half was slow, but because that became interesting when the TARDIS crew returned. Yeah. Arnold T. Blumberg of IGN rated the serial an 8 out of 10, highlighting the snappy and exciting pace and the surprisingly top-notch production values, aside from the monoids. SFX reviewer Ian Berriman rated it 3 out of 5 stars, describing it as quaint, with the monoids being laughable villains. However, he did note the ambition of the story, that it was faster paced than others at the time, certainly, and the positively epic sets. I would absolutely agree, actually. Brian J. Robb of Dreamwatch, what a name. What's Dreamwatch? A British magazine covering science fiction and fantasy. That's fun. Whatever. Praised the direction, but wrote that the ambitious story that fails miserably thanks to the less than stellar monoids. Leave the monoids alone, for goodness sake. Charlie Jane Anders of IO9 was very trendy and a hip website, but has the right opinions. You know, garbage basically. Listed the cliffhanger of the plague in which the TARDIS crew leave and return in the future as one of the greatest Doctor Who cliffhangers in a 2010 article. They weren't so bad in 2010. This kind of like fitting in conformist, approval can be quantified via social media, wasn't as much a thing at that time, I think. In any case, the arc, good stuff. Tune in next time for the Celestial Toymaker, which is mostly lost, and people pretend it's worse than it is because of some bad, ugly, pretty vaguely racist Orientalism, but in all things considered, the Celestial Toymaker, or what's left of it, remains a good serial, and we can choose to look past the issues of that particular storyline, or we can choose not to. Just, it's like, I don't know if I'm a good person or not. Oh, I need to condemn this fucking serial from the 60s. It's just like, let's just look at it for what it is, and if it's fun, right? But anyway, that's enough of that. Tune in next time if you're so inclined. Thanks again, my friends.